All right, story time with Alex. This is the story of the time when I thought I figured it all out with women. I'm the master of day game and pickup, and everything changed in one day, and I realized I don't have any friends. The year was 2018, and I was in Budapest. At that time, I was living with James and Liam in an apartment. It was kind of like this cool, seductive environment. You know, everybody was doing day game. Everybody was pulling different chicks all the time. And I was improving my skills in that sense. And, you know, we gave each other texting advice. Everything was great, right? The perfect pickup seduction lifestyle that everybody's aiming for. One day we got a call. So this event organizer dude from Ukraine called us. We did events with him before. Basically, we joined his events. So he knew us as those dating coaches who are good with women and who have a cool lifestyle. So he called and he was like, "Hey, yo, Alex, what's up? So, you're in Budapest?" And I'm like, yeah, I'm in Budapest. Okay, cool, perfect. So this client is coming to town. He's like working for this Bitcoin billionaire, and, he's running this hedge fund. And, he's just having a weekend in Budapest. Just show him a good time. Bring out some of your girls. Just go to the restaurant. He's for sure going to pick up the bill. Don't worry about money at all. And, just make sure he's comfortable and he's going to have fun. And I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. Okay, cool, see ya. Liam and me looked at each other, and we very quickly realized that it's not going to be that easy as this guy described. Because we thought about it. Yes, sure, we're like good with girls, in theory, right? I mean, after all, I'm day gaming, I'm approaching, I'm getting numbers, I'm going on dates, I'm having regular sex with different women, living the dream. But then I realized all the girls I know in the whole country of Hungary, where I've been basically spending most of my time for a whole year, were all girls who I just approached, went on a date with, and like isolated, got to my place, had sex with, said goodbye, met them again. Some, I had sex with regularly, others 1, 2, 3 times. Those are pretty much all the girls I knew, and do I want to bring those together on a dinner with some guy that I've never met? That would be fucking awkward. Then they're all like, what, how do you know Alex? Or how do you know Alex? I basically knew almost nobody. And Liam was in the same situation. This was such an insane wake-up call, because we realized here we are, the social masters. I've just been starting to coach guys on day game and the seduction and so on. And, we're teaching and preaching that we're so good with women. And here we are sitting in Budapest in our apartment, realizing we don't know anybody. We cannot even bring 5, 6 girls to a dinner, even when it's paid for, even when it's the best restaurant in town. We are not able to do that. Our social network is literally zero. We don't know anyone. Then we realized we're not really doing any hobbies. We're not going to yoga clubs. We're not trying to meet people in concerts. We're not really throwing events. We've been hung up in this like total 100% pickup mindset, which is like the hunter who is going out on the street, only talking to girls who are single. If she has a boyfriend, she's like, oh, you get angry and you walk away. You only ask questions that are leading to something sexual or going on a date or logistics. All your texts are around, okay, what's the next step to go on a date, and so on. So we've been in that mindset the whole time, and we totally left out all that other part of seduction and developing social skills and building a network. So what we ended up doing, because we still, I said yes after all, and I don't want to let that buddy down. What we ended up doing, which is pretty pathetic, is we called the only girls we knew, which is literally our co-workers. So on our workshops, we have those female coach assistants who are, super useful in the workshops. They give honest feedback and they help us out. So we know them because we pay them, right? On those workshops, we pay them. So we call them up and we're like, hey, one by one, are you free like today evening? And they're like, oh, no, I'm kind of busy. I'm with my boyfriend or something. And I'm like, oh, what if it's like we're going to this great restaurant. And she's like, nah. Okay, we're going to this great restaurant and we pay you 50 euros or whatever it was to come. She's like, okay. So we're like, we have to pay the only girls we know to show up and, enjoy a beautiful 10 out of 10 restaurant experience. How fucking sad is that? The evening went fine. You know, I guess the guy was not really impressed because just he's used to way higher level stuff, and we were not in a position to like choose out of a big social circle of girls. We literally scrambled 5 girls together to give some vibe. We told them before, like, can you please be like friendly to him and make us look cool? So yeah, pretty weak performance there, but no regrets, because it was kind of the first wake-up call that, you know, everything I just told you, I realized in that day, in that week. And we realized, all right, we totally neglected that whole part. You know, there's guys out there who, yes, don't have like the seduction skills we have. Maybe they don't do as many approaches, or they're not as good as like, you know, escalating on a date, but they have a huge social circle. They create events, they draw people in there, and they're just generally in a whole different mindset of meeting people, being social, and get similar or even better results than us that way. So what then followed is us starting to do house parties. So, you know, I had a month later, I booked a nice Airbnb with me and my video guy at the time, and we collaborated on the first kind of Budapest house parties. So as I said, this is 4 years ago. We invited some people he knew, some people I knew. At the beginning, the ratio didn't matter too much. Later, we tried to at least bring, you know, 1-on-1 ratio, and then maybe 2-to-1 ratio, so like more girls than guys. And that went pretty well for a while. I think I have one of my first threesome experiences for that. So that was cool. And it set me up on a path of understanding how to combine the kind of hunting aspect and the more like social circle settling aspect, and form that together, you know. Obviously in day game, you have to take initiative, you have to go out, you have to go for it, you have to kind of lead every step. And in a social circle, there's a lot of other different skills required there, which I was totally oblivious about. So since then, I learned so much more again about seduction, about female psychology, about social dynamics, and basically took it to the extreme, because what followed is 4 years of building an insane social circle, moving to Ukraine, building a bikini brand, and, you know, taking it a level up, where now the last 12 months, basically a majority of my year was spending time on beautiful yachts, beautiful villas in different countries, creating events with models, photographers, bringing people together that way. So I guess you could say when I do something, I go pretty extreme, and I'm very thankful for that call that happened on that day in 2018 that got me to realize that there is more than just day game. But that's where it starts, you know. It is the thing that will make the biggest difference in your life and your seduction life and your developing you as a man, is overcoming that fear, that anxiety you have, you know. I mean, just sit there with yourself and think, how does it feel when you see a beautiful girl on the street and you're about to approach her and you think about what you're gonna say? You know, it's anxiety comes up, or excitement is a better way to call it, and there's maybe some tension, and maybe you're blushing, or you're like thinking of an excuse why it's not a good idea. Overcoming that will make the biggest difference by far in your seduction life and life in general, and everything that kind of follows is an add-on. So I'm very happy the way I chose my path that way. But yeah, I thought it's an interesting story, and I'm telling that story in a speech that I gave in Vienna. So I thought I want to share it with my YouTube audience as well. Now, if you want to know where do you currently stand in your current journey as a man, as a seducer, and building your networks and so on, I created a quiz. It's for free, takes a couple of minutes, and it will give you a score from 0 to 100, and it will give you also at the end of it great ideas of what you can do immediately to improve many areas of your life, and you will see where you're already pretty good and where you're lacking, and what action steps you can take to get to a higher score. This is a fun exercise and can really get you thinking on what's the next level for you. So if you want to take that quiz, as I said, it only takes a few minutes and the result will be in your email. Click below to do it now. All right, homework mission for you. Think about what's the small changes you can make in your current lifestyle that will get you closer to building a social circle that is at least balanced men and women. The benefits of this is a whole topic for another video, but let's now stick to actions. So for example, if you work in an office where there's only guys, how can you create, small events as a little first step where maybe, after work, those guys can even just invite their girlfriends, get some female energy in there. If you're already doing some meetups here and there, maybe the topic you're doing there, maybe it's like you meet up for chess, you and your boys play chess. How can you maybe switch that up for some board game or some other more fun game where people can all play together, which is just more fun for females to join. Maybe you have to act, maybe you have to improvise, stuff like that. If you go to a MMA class every week, which is obviously great, how could you still do that but maybe add another type of movement class where there's more females? Maybe it's yoga, pilates, bouldering, climbing, stuff where it's just more 50-50 and so on. The list goes on and on, right? Just think, how can you make a small change once per week that will get you into the right direction and gets you out of the mindset of you doing pickup when you do pickup and you live your life outside of it and that's it. You want to become a social guy who has a social life where everything kind of just blends in eventually. All right, thanks for listening. If you liked that video, press like, comment what thoughts came up for you, and as always, subscribe to the channel. Bye.